A new consciousness is developing which sees the earth as a single organism and recognizes that an organism at war with itself is doomed.
Hey guys, we're on 2 Samuel chapter 5. Then all the tribes of Israel went to David at Hebron and told him, "We are your own flesh and blood. In the past, when Saul was our king, you were the one who really led the forces of Israel, and the Lord told you, 'You will be the shepherd of my people Israel. You will be Israel's leader.'" So, there at Hebron, King David made a covenant before the Lord with all the elders of Israel, and they anointed him king of Israel. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years in all. He had reigned over Judah from Hebron for 7 years and 6 months, and from Jerusalem he reigned over all Israel and Judah for 33 years. David then led his men to Jerusalem to fight against the Jebusites, the original inhabitants of the land who were living there, of course. Gotta have even more bloodshed. The Jebusites taunted David, saying, "You'll never get in here. Even the blind and lame could keep you out." For the Jebusites thought they were safe. They thought they were safe. David has Yahweh on his side. You don't want to fuck with that guy. He will curse you and your family. Thank goodness it's fiction, right? But David captured the fortress of Zion, which is now called the City of David. On the day of the attack, David said to his troops, "I hate those lame and blind Jebusites. Whoever attacks them should strike by going into the city through the water tunnel." That is the origin of the saying, "The blind and lame may not enter the house." You know, I'm not familiar with this saying. I'm wondering if it died off thousands of years ago, back when this was written. So David made the fortress his home, and he called it the City of David. He extended the city, starting at the supporting terraces and working inward. And David became more and more powerful because the Lord God of heaven's armies was with him. Then King Hiram of Tyre sent messengers to David along with cedar timber and carpenters and stonemasons, and they built David a palace. And David realized that the Lord had confirmed him as king over Israel and had blessed his kingdom for the sake of his people Israel. Because, of course, the Lord does pick favorites. After moving from Hebron to Jerusalem, David married more concubines and wives, and they had more sons and daughters. Nice. These are the names of David's sons who were born in Jerusalem: Shemua, Shabab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elishua, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Eliada, and Eliphelet. When the Philistines heard that David had been anointed king of Israel, they mobilized all their forces to capture him. But David was told they were coming, so they went into the stronghold. The Philistines arrived and spread out across the valley of Rephaim. So David asked the Lord, "Should I go to fight the Philistines? Will you hand them over to me?" The Lord replied to David, "Yes, go ahead. I will certainly hand them over to you." So David went to Baal Perazim and defeated the Philistines there. "The Lord did it," David exclaimed. "He burst through the enemies like a raging flood." Says that like he's surprised. He got him. So he named that place Baal Perazim, which means the Lord who burst through. The Philistines had abandoned their idols there, so David and his men confiscated them. But after a while, the Philistines returned and again spread out across the valley of Rephaim. And again, David asked the Lord what to do. "Do not attack them straight on," the Lord replied. "Instead, circle around behind and attack them near the poplar trees. When you hear a sound like marching feet in the tops of the poplar trees, be on the alert. That will be the signal that the Lord is moving ahead of you to strike down the Philistine army." Yahweh on the battlefield. "All right, man, here's what you're gonna do." So David did what the Lord commanded, and he struck down the Philistines all the way from Gibeon to Jezer. All right, that is 2 Samuel chapter 5. We'll be back with chapter 6.